Welcome back, everybody. Today I got something a little bit different for you. So this is going to be kind of adding on to if you've been following the previous Foda pack for using Flux, which is one of the latest groundbreaking models for image generation. We've done a lot of work showing that pack, and I want to take you back, all the way back. So back in the start of 2023 or 2022, I forget, I started training a lot of 2.1 models. And this is the Zenkai system. It was actually its own checkpoint and a whole host of loras. And what I did was every checkpoint I had ever trained got retrained into a single lora, and it was used for style transfer. Okay. And then what I did was I came up with this system called Zenkai system. And it's basically a prompt randomizer, but it used loading the lora with the tags, okay, as a random style thing. And then you could just use the seed for the prompt. So the prompt has a random line gen number. So you can obviously do 10 random gens. And if you like a style, you can go to that seed, leave that one on fixed, and now it'll transform everything you work with into something like that. Now, we needed to use the lora or the checkpoint to get the actual artwork out. But because of the way I did the tags, and you're going to need to download this training data download here. So this is just a text file, right? Well, it's a whole bunch of text files. It's all of the captions for this 350 model style lora, right? Now, this is kind of all applying to the actual lora and stuff, but it does give you some information on how I was using it. Now, obviously, we don't have a lora retrained for Flux, okay? But we've got this whole colors to Flux thing going on. So essentially, if I just jump over, this is the article, which is going to be linked in the description, how to use the Zenkai system. All of this will apply. You just use the workflow for colors bridge to Flux, or just Flux on its own with this modification. And then you'll be able to have like a chaos restyling, but it's all based on my work. So, I mean, it's better when you actually use an image that was generated with 2.1. So I might make a 2.1 Zenkai Lora bridge for Flux in the future, just to make it that bit more accurate, because it does a great job of reimagining images that maybe had some problems. Anyway, let's get into how this system works. So there is a file called Zenkai Desu, which is all the captions for the entire 350 set. We also have Zenkai Style, which only has the style triggers. So every prompt starts with name, style, and then captions for the image. So this would be the whole lot. This would just be whatever style. That's all it's going to add, whatever style. And the names are usually like two tokens slammed together that loosely describe what I was training. So the funny thing is, because Flux follows the prompts so well, it actually does a great job. So there's also other files are in here. So we've also got an LLM GPT-2 random, where it's basically just sort of chunked and randomized all of the prompts. And then we've also got Zenkai Prompt, which is 5,000 example prompts that we used in captioning the 230 set. There's also Zenkai Style, Zenkai Desu, wildcards, which have everything. So that's for use with dynamic prompts, but we'll probably look at that another time. Okay, you can, ignore that, because if you don't have the lora loaded, you will need to use the triggers, and because that only worked because there were so many triggers in the lora that it didn't matter what you type, you're always going to hit something. Okay. Or something associated with the thing that was trained, which has the same effect. Okay, so there's much more information on ways you can use the thing. There's also examples for prompt fusion and things like that. But these all apply, I think, maybe to automatic. Is this for automatic 11.11? See, this is going back a long, yeah. This is for automatic 11.11. So I released this one back in February. Oh, no, I updated that on February 2024 is when I updated it. This one was done in May 24th, 2023. Right. So what we're going to be, I've also updated the emergent abilities article for Flux Schnell to reflect the discoveries made with the upscaling regarding the model shift boost. All right. So with that, we can jump into the workflow. All right. So what we're looking at is we're looking at the colors bridge. There's a couple of new things I'll quickly explain. So this right here is an SDXL hand fix module. So it loads an SDXL model. It takes the image from, well, wherever you want to take it from, really. I've got it currently, it's a manual deal. So you would activate the group and you would put an image in it and run it. And it's going to do its best to fix the hands. I mean, it's blued out right now, but I actually had a good image. So it didn't really make it better at all. But normally it will do a good job of fixing funny hands. So it's like a one shot. Maybe it'll do the job. It uses a graph former and depth control net. So, but like I said, it does use SDXL. I did try setting it up with colors, but unfortunately the depth map would always make a lot of mistakes. So obviously it wasn't suitable. We also looked at the detailer for colors. There's a detailer for colors, but I find that actually you get better results just by adjusting the model shift, and then you get even better results by doing a flux upscale. So don't think you really need it. It often would produce bad results. I think it was a face detailer. It did a great job of going to the face, but it actually wasn't making as good quality for that. So we've moved the transparency section, the MBG, and we've moved the color correction to the right-hand side. That's about all that's changed. Oh, and then obviously I've put in this, which is a comparison for the colors base and the flux output. So you can literally go left, right, left, right. It's not working right now because I just reset everything. Okay, everything is still there like normal. So let's look at the actual modification real quick before we start making some images. So all it is we had our SDXL prompt styler, which has a text positive input. So what I've created is I've created a text concatenate. And then what I've done is I've put the original pre-prompt into the A. Okay, I've then taken a comfy, easy seed. This is an easy use, easy seed. You can use any seed you want, right? I've plugged that into the text random line seed. And then I duplicated this, renamed it to random line, and plugged it into text. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to let us put something in front. So for example, maybe I might want to use flux and do some text, right? That's going to go in front of a random line, which is going to be picked from the files that we discussed earlier from the Zenkai model. Now, because it's such a huge caption set, there's a lot of variation. There's a lot of really cool styles in there. There's 350 styles in there. So we're going to send these images into Flux in a minute, and I'm just going to put it on auto queue, and we're just going to let it run. Now, the way I'm controlling this, obviously, is I'm doing random. So it's taking a random line from 5,000 lines and using that to do the prompt. Now, obviously, Flux is really good at following the prompt, but I am throwing the image in one of two ways. So if we just ignore these for a second. So what I've done is I've taken a single image loader and put it into both the controlnet and the image to image mode. Now I'm currently running, I'm going to do just doing text to image first. So that means it's going to be the controlnet is going to be influencing the generation. The prompt obviously is text Johnson female focus diffuse light and then a random style line. And then we're using text to image down the bottom. We're taking the image which is being rendered by colors, putting it through a resize. So this is image to image. We're currently using denoise of 0.05, and we're using a model shift and base shift matching 1.5. All right. I find this gives us a very, very close. If I look at this image, which was the colors output, and then look at this image, it's extremely close, but it's enhanced the detail everywhere it could. Similarly, there's your colors output, and there's the flux output. So it's almost identical. So whatever we can get out of colors using controlnet, depth model, text to image, image to image, even with the IP adapter as well, because it does have the IP adapter. In fact, for fun, what we'll do is we'll do the first image. So let's take instant off for a second. So we'll do the first image, and then we will turn on the IP adapter. We'll do the second image. We'll turn off the IP adapter. Do the third image, and then turn image to image on. Do a fourth image. Now it is going to be doing a different seed every time because I'm about to put it into the instant mode. There we go. Put it on that. And then we'll start chugging, because what I want to show you is if I have it in image to image with IP adapter off. Yep, that's off. Image to image with IP adapter off and controlnet on. What we can do is we can put whatever image we want. So I've got a bunch of them open here. So I'm going to throw in this guy from the Mega Demons dataset. And like I said, you could generate stuff like that with my Mega Demons Lora in 2.1. Now, I doubt I'll get a Mega Demons trigger. It's going to be completely random. But we'll start it off and see how it goes. So it looks like the first set is going to take a while. Every time you change the image, it has to rerun the control net, so it will take a bit longer. If you're running the IP adapter, it'll take a bit longer. But for the most of this, I'm probably just going to be running either either controlnet into text to image or controlnet to image regarding colors to the flux bridge. Right. So I hope I explained how you can build this. You could actually just download the or have your current workflow and add this yourself, because it's very simple. It is positive prompt. We have text random line, a seed to control it. Because say I like this particular one, I can load this back in and then put the fix here, and it will only exist in that domain of style. So okay, and then obviously the text concatenate goes through to feed thing. So it's not like a huge change. And as I said, you download the files from the Zenkai model page on Civit. Link will be in the description. There's lots of information on the article. Right, now we're starting to get the images in. So let's go full screen. And that's all we need to see. So the images are just going to start flowing through now. But I think it's still catching up with us. So yeah, this is going to take some time. So I'll do some time skips. So as you can see here, we've got the IP adapter switched on, and you can see there the IP adapter is just loaded with test bottles. And so you have a massive effect. Okay, so this is a good way to know that's too strong, but it's probably being styled by something that coincidentally works. So okay, there's the next output. So this would be, I believe, probably image to image, actually. We'll have to check the denoise. Okay, so now we're starting to see that's definitely the image to image. So I must have turned the control net off there, and then we've just gone for the image to image. So now we're going to change the image again, I think, or it's just resampling it. Nice, nice. So I think we'll take a quick look at the comparison for the detail on this one. So where is it? Is it not working? Ah, it should be on that one. That's my bad. Well, anyway, this is a nice image. It's come out really nice. It's like a little toy Gundam. So obviously we hit a Gundam style. But what that tells me is that right now it's following the prompt. Because look, check this out. Whoa, okay, so we've got a woman on a surfboard. That was close. Got a woman on a surfboard, and now we're going to get the same woman on the surfboard out of Flux. There we go. It's actually a little bit better. I don't know why it's not comparing. Comparer doesn't seem to be comparing to me. Very strange. Well, normally you're able to scrub left and right. Oh, that's a bust. Something wrong with my compare node. Okay, so this will be my view out of a tent model. So let's just address this, because clearly we're on text to image with controlnet, which gives it a lot more freedom. But I want to use this creatively. So we're going to put it to image. So I've put my image into image to image. It's going to feed controlnet, and it's going to go through at 0.5 image denoise. And then we're going to get something that looks a little bit like, wait, this? Or did it not change yet? Yeah, there we go. Right, cool. So now it's going to use the prompt to make the thing. So it's trying to follow. It's trying to follow the image guide as best as it can. I think I could probably do a bit more denoise, but Flux will save the day, no matter how bad it is. I mean, this image that's come out is not very good. It's a bit overblown. It's like, you can see it's not very good, but Flux saves the day. So we're just going to let it keep going. It's going to be picking a different style every time, so you never really know what you're going to get. Now, obviously, if you do find that when we find a good one, I'm going to freeze it, and I'll show you how that works. Also, if you are interested, you can always drag a show text, and then we'll be able to see what it actually is. See, this is pretty cool. I kind of like that. I'm digging that, right? So let's just copy that real quick. If I just drag this guy in here, it's going to tell me what the seed was for the prompt, right? So here we are. That's what it was. So if I now say fixed, right? So I'm going to leave it on that style. Let's just get that show text back so we can see what the prompts are going to be. Okay, so it should fix that now, right? And then I guess, do I have to change? It should just pick it up on the next run. Yeah. So yeah, it'll be different for this one. See, that's not even bad. Like, I do like the outputs that you get from Kolors. But we did all kinds of stuff to try and fix the quality, and it seems like you just feed it into Flux and that'll fix it. Now, obviously, you want to have a bit more control. You probably want to have a different prompt running on the Flux side slightly. For ease of use, what I've done is I've made it so that you've got one prompt for both sides. But it wouldn't be very difficult to have a colors prompt, which you could put the text box in here, for example. But like I said, that's up to you how you want to wire that up. I find it's nice to have the same prompt on both sides just for alignment, but they're completely different models. So, all right. So now it's making this image, right? So this is the style. I kind of like this style, right? So that's the colors output. Really cool, really cool. So now what I'm thinking is, well, I like that style, but I want to do a different image. Okay. And obviously, if I wanted to make it more like the original, I could reduce the denoise up top. But what I'm doing instead is I'm allowing it to make a bit of a transform so that when it comes down here, I can actually control it with shift. Because as I said, 0.05 denoise is what we're using here. And it's basically the ultimate detailer setup. There's a lot you can do. So let's see, what are we going to get now? Now, I haven't altered the shift or anything because I'm trying to keep it comparative. But what I am going to do is I'm going to turn off the image to image once we've got our first from this new setup. So here it comes. Okay, now remember, we did ask for female focus, and this is what we got from Kolors, and this is the flux output, which again is really nice, so sharp. There's a lot of detail here, and we haven't even done any upscaling or anything like that yet. And where my mind goes to with stuff like this is making a really cool widescreen background, maybe with a different style for bonus points. And then we can use the remove background on this character, and then we can place it back inside, making a completely new scene, and then potentially even upscale that at the end. And then finally color correct, right? But I want to sort of build to that. The videos were getting way too long, and so what we're going to do is going to break things up into smaller videos. And so basically, you know, we're almost getting to the end of this one now. So I'm just going to let it run a little bit longer. Okay, so that made some really cool images by passing the image from Flux and then getting, into Flux and getting it out. So like I said, and then what we've done, we put the randomizer back on again. Now it's giving us some other different things, and you can just keep exploring through. Oh, that's pretty much everything for this one. You can find the Zenkai system on Civit, links in the description. You'll need the training data. There's a full explanation of the concept of the Zenkai system in an article, which is also going to be linked. I recommend using one of the Flux Pack workflows, and you can find that on my Civit. And finally, where are we? And this is all you need. I explained how to put it up and put it together. You can obviously use any massive long list of prompts here. So if you've got one that you'd prefer, yep, works. And obviously by fixing it on a seed we like, we can then apply that to all of our generations. So this gives us a guided way to use massive libraries of prompts that we can collect. Okay. And also, if you want, the alternate way to do this is obviously to turn off all of the colors stuff, leave the flux on, and what we're going to do is we're going to change it from passing it from colors to the load image, right? And then we're going to start putting our image into there instead. All right, we still get to control the aspect ratio from the main commander, so we've got it on square right now. So let's make this one a tall image for fun. And we have no idea what the style is going to be because it's on random. Okay, there's the flux output for that mecha. I think that's the flux output. Which one is it? See, the outputs are now so similar. You have to kind of do a double take to make sure it's this. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, because it's very, very close. And obviously, once we take these images into an upscaler, they're going to look amazing. Now, you might notice this is running a hell of a lot faster now. And the main reason is because it's quite slow to do this bridge. The bridge is quite slow, but it gives us access to canny and depth. Now, I've seen a dev canny, but it is only for dev. It's not for Schnell. So we have to wait for that. And it's only a 512 canny as well. So they're saying they're going to have a 1024 canny. So we're waiting on that one. It's just pointless to have this on instant right now because I'm not really changing anything. But yeah, I hope you can appreciate there's a hell of a lot more we can do once we put it into the upscaler. But yeah, I'm going to sign off there because I don't want to take too long. We're going to have multiple videos most likely. So look forward to that. And I will see you next time. So, memberships are here. I've added donator and member. The donator membership is just you want to support the channel, help us grow. Member, you're going to get some exclusive video access. And check out the join now button for more information.